Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Hera English School online teaching. Today, inshallah, in history subject, we are going to see the political science section. The first lesson I am going to repeat it because of the technical problem. It has been having errors, so I am repeating this lesson again in the form of this video. Working of the Constitution. Now we know what is a constitution. Constitution is the book related to all the laws which are being followed in India, and these constitutional laws were made at the time of our freedom. Equality, fraternity, brotherhood, whatever the things and the values which were taught to us by the great leaders all over the world after the freedom struggle, those were all having made into rules and regulations. So let us see, in the textbook of political science till now we have helped us to take an overview of local governments. Last time we had seen the civic administrations, the values and philosophies of the Indian constitutions, as also the governing structures created by the constitution and India's place in international relations. The Indian Constitution has declared its objective to establish a secular, democratic republic. Also, it has made extremely important provisions to ensure that the citizens get justice and their freedom is protected, no matter which religion or caste they belong. The Indian Constitution is seen as the means through which a progressive, developed society based on social justice and equality is established. Now, the Constitution came into force on 26th of January 1950. Since then, the government has been working on the accordance with the principles of Constitution. In this chapter, we will take a brief overview of the wide-ranging nature of Indian democracy, important changes that have taken place in its political process, and steps that have been taken to establish the social justice and equality. This review will primarily focus on the three main things, that is democracy, social justice, judiciary system. Okay, now let us see and peep into the democracy. Okay, now the political maturity, what does it mean? Democracy does not merely imply a representative structure. It is not just that the prime minister and the other ministers and their working, but it is a proper system. The essence of representative system is to integrate the principle of democracy in actual practice. Now, the essence of representative system means the main core or main idea behind the representation in each of the field or administration to make it a proper administration and to apply the principle of proper administration in each of the areas by democracy, in the sense by the people, with the people and for the people. Once this is done, the democracy becomes an integral part of the political life of the society. That means whole of the society is involved in all these things, because whatever the basic things of human being or the life and the society of the people is totally involved with these politics. Not only the politicians, but the common man is also involved in the society indirectly, when he votes, when he gives his opinion, when he protests. All these things come under the political maturity. Accordingly, the Indian people have direct representation in the parliament, state legislature and local government. Holding free and fair election at a regular interval is an important indicator of India's successful democracy. Now, what is indicating us that we are successful in our democracy? Because we are giving equal right to everybody. The common people are getting justice. There is a social life which is having an equality in the society. No matter which religion, which caste, which creed you belong to. If you are an Indian, you will be protected, your voice will be heard, you will be given justice. All these things belong to the democracy. The increasing participation of the people in the political process and political competition shows that Indian democracy has become a success in a great extent. Now we move on to right to vote. The Indian Constitution had made the provision of right to vote for adults. In the independence and the pre-independence period, several provisions existed which restricted the right to vote. The Indian people were not allowed to raise their voice. But as soon as we got our freedom, all such provisions were cancelled after independence, and the Indian Constitution guaranteed the adult suffrage by giving the right to vote equally to both man and woman above the age of 21. The voting age was later reduced from 21 to 18, which gave opportunity of political participation to the young generations in India. Now, such provisions have made India the largest democracy in the world because large number of youngsters were coming under this group for voting. India has the largest number of voters compared to any other democratic nation. This change is not only quantitative but also qualitative, as new political parties are emerging with the active support of young voters. These parties represent various expectations of people and compete in the political sphere. Okay. Now from this we understand how the right to vote has increased the number of participants in it by giving them the chance at the age of 18 years. Before that it was 21 years was the age at which the people were allowed, this youngsters were allowed to vote. Now, decentralization of democracy. What do you mean by decentralization? Decentralization means giving away the power at the local authority, dividing the power into a proper way so that the administration is done in a proper manner. Decentralization of power is central to the democratic government. Decentralization controls the misuse of the power and also creates the opportunity for the political participation of the common people. The directive principles of state policy includes the provisions for democratic decentralization. One such important provision is regarding empowering the local self-government. That means the gram panchayats, the municipalities, they are also given some rights so that the proper administration of that particular area, the problems of that particular area are solved at that ground level. Make genuine democratic governance a reality, which makes it a real way. The live problems of the people are solved at the ground level. After independence, several attempts were made towards democratic decentralization. One such important attempt is the 73rd and the 74th Amendment to Indian Constitution, which gave a constitutional status to the local self-governing institutions and also increased their powers. Okay. Now let us move on to RTI, that is right to information. Citizen empowerment is for essential conditions of democracy. It is necessary to create opportunities for citizens' participation and interaction with the government. Increased communication between citizen and government helps in strengthening the democracy. That means the people have the right to the information what actually the government is doing, how much money is spending on each of the project, or how much money is involved and which people are doing that project, or whether that project or that assignments are done in a proper manner or not for the welfare of the society, or the money is being wasted. These all questions the people can ask to the government at any point. This is called as the right to information. Now it increases the communication between the citizens and the government, and it helps in making the democracy more stronger, and in building a relationship of trust between the citizens have a right to know about the functioning of the government. The government of India gave the right to information to the citizens of India to ensure the transparency and accountability, which was the hallmark of the good governance. That means government is accountable and has to answer the questions of the common people. And the transparency, that means they should know, the people should know how much money involved. Suppose one bridge is to be made, how much money is given in that, whom that contract has been given, how that whether that engineer is an honest person or not, whether those workers are working in a proper manner or not, which quality of cement, which quality of iron has been utilized, whether that plan is proper or not. All these things, information, the common citizen has right to get from the government. Right to information has made the government more transparent and has reduced the element of secrecy in the working of the government. That means they cannot hide the things, or any black money or many wrong thing cannot be done in the society. It should be the work for the benefit of society that can be properly done because of right to information. Because the government is answerable to the people who have voted them, the people who have believed in them. So the government has to give the answer to each and every of the problems. That is the right to information. After the year 2000, the whole approach towards democratic reform has changed. Democratic reforms are considered as rights of citizen. Accordingly, citizens in India have got right to information, education, food security. These rights have strengthened the democracy in India. You must be seeing on each of the products of the medicines specially, and many of the products of food, you will see there is a MRP, there is a date on which that till which the guarantee is there for that product, so that it is kind of a food security. Now right to information for, and also for the education, each child should be given the education that we have learned in the 9th standard also. Till the age of 14 years the child has to be given the education. Okay, so right to information, education and food security are all the rights which strengthen the democracy of India. Now we further move on to social justice and equality. Social justice and equality are the important objectives of our constitution. The constitution has given the guidelines for this. To establish a new society based on these two values, we are following the path laid by the Constitution of India to achieve the goals. To establish social justice is to remove those social conditions which are responsible for injustice, insist on the equality of dignity of each individual, whether that person belong to low caste, poor family. All this should not hinder him from development. So every person has a right, who is the citizen of India has the equal right in job opportunities, in getting a good education, in getting justice at each level. All these comes under the social justice. The principle of justice and equality aims at ending the discrimination in social status which as superior or inferior on the basis of caste, religion, language and gender, place of birth, race, property, and giving equality of opportunity for development to every individual. All this comes under social justice and equality. To establish social justice and equality, efforts are to be made at all the levels of society. But the government's efforts and policies on these front are more important. For democracy to be inclusive, one must try to bring all sections of the society into the mainstream. That means each and every one be treated equally. Democracy is in fact a process of accommodating the different sections in society. Democracy helps in reducing the social conflicts. So, inshallah, we'll continue next time. Till here, you have understood, I hope. Jazakallah.